Good afternoon. Share what you feel would be the top two skills that any teacher leader needs. The first skill I believe every teacher leader must have is collaboration. As highlighted in chapter one, no single person can handle everything a school requires. Working together is essential to have a successful department and school. Collaboration allows us to solve problems together and share instructional strategies that benefit the students. For example, on Friday, a teacher came to me to find out how he could help his resource students. I taught resource for 3 years, and I shared with him that you have to break it down into manageable parts, unpacking the standard, using chart paper, providing targeted small groups for reading, reinforcing vocabulary with memory clues. Experiences like this remind me of how collaboration can solve different problems that might arise in your school. My coworkers and are not just coworkers, we are all great friends. We collaborate outside of the classroom and we share. Anything I create, I share. Our head of the department, she creates most of the summative assessments and I create most of the formative assessments. We have worked together to do both of them though. We just all collaborate well together and sometimes we vent together. um, when we are done with a unit, we all meet and collaborate on what questions worked for students, what questions didn't work. So I think to be a teacher leader, you must be willing to listen and share resources with your group to be a good teacher leader. The second skill for a teacher leader is people skills. Working with parents, teachers, and administrators requires the ability to communicate effectively, build positive relationships, and navigate a variety of personalities. Having strong people skills helps teachers how to collaborate better. Also, if you have good people skills, you listen to other teachers and value their contributions. Personally, I've always been naturally sociable and able to connect with others, which has helped me fit in and build relationships with other teachers and students. I think you can go far with people skills. I always tell my students and my own kids, if you can talk to people, you can sell, and if you have that skill, you can make money. One of our administrators has excellent people skills, which helps him with interactions with parents because he deals with discipline. When I first moved to eighth grade, it took some time, but I was able to build relationships and become friends with all the teachers. And I feel like it is essential to have people skills. I love eighth grade, and as a teacher leader, you must have people skills. The two dispositions. As a teacher leader, you must be flexible because we learn things every year. Sometimes I feel that you learn something and get the hang of it, they change it the next year. You must be flexible because the districts want something done differently each year. I think also flexibility means opening up to new ideas, listening to different perspectives, and finding solutions. I think a flexible teacher leader helps the team adjust to problems without losing focus on student learning. In the classroom, you have to be flexible because you have a lesson plan, but you might have to change it because some of your students are not understanding the standard. You definitely have to be a flexible teacher in the classroom. Also, the next thing I believe is being consistent. I know in the classroom, I'm consistent with my students. I think coworkers count on teacher leaders to follow through with things and encourage others. For example, being prepared for team collaboration, doing a data dig or analysis, or enforcing school rules fairly. Consistent behavior shows commitment and reliability. When a teacher leaders are consistent, they set strong examples for new teachers and create a stable environment. Two ways that you feel strategies and reward teacher leaders and why. I believe one of the best rewards a teacher leader could receive is opportunity to go off campus for lunch. Um, Imagine being chosen to enjoy Friday lunch break away from school. It would feel like a treat. Our daily lunches aren't always the best, so having the chance to eat somewhere different would be a huge booster. Honestly, I wish we had more of these opportunities or even bring in food trucks on a regular basis. We did have one scheduled for Wednesdays, but that unfortunately discontinued and we're not allowed to use services like DoorDash or have the food trucks anymore. That being said, the administration did provide lunch for us this past week, and it was amazing to see how happy and appreciative all the teachers were. It reminded me how much food really brings people together and lifts spirits. For that reason, I think awards or incentives connected to meals, whether it's off campus lunch passes, food trucks, or special catered lunches, would go a long way of showing appreciation. After all, teachers are hungry, always hungry, and good food is a simple way to keep us feeling valued and energized. Another strategy for rewarding teacher leaders could be comp time. Teachers often put a lot of extra hours that aren't officially counted. For example, this year we've been staying later than our contracted time because of bus delays. Yet, when we need to take a doctor's appointment, we're required to use a half day of leave. That doesn't take into account that all the additional time we've already put in. Offering a comp time would not only acknowledge the extra hours teachers are putting in, but also give us some flexibility when things happen in life. It would be a meaningful way to recognize teacher leaders' dedication and provide a fair balance for the time we invest beyond our contract time. The last question: how important it is, in your opinion, for the teacher leader to have a good working relationship with the school principal? I think it is extremely important for a teacher leader to have a good working relationship with the school principal. A positive relationship builds trust and open communication, which allows teacher leaders to serve as a bridge between the staff and administration. I think when principals and teacher leaders work well together, concerns from teachers are more likely to be heard and addresses, and school concerns are implemented more smoothly. For example, if a teacher leader has earned the principal's trust, then they can advocate for their colleagues' needs, such as professional development. I'm 1 year older than our principal, and we come from the same town. We went to the same high school. He has been in the classroom and understands what teachers need to be successful. I like him and I respect him, and I think you must have a good relationship because if not, you would not be a teacher leader. You have to understand his position, and he has to understand your position. Although I think our school has improved because our last administrator, he did not stay long. He went back to the elementary school because our school is a large school. Middle school is hard, and but I think having a strong partnership between teacher leaders and principals ensures that both teachers and students receive the support they need to succeed. Thank you.